Japan is set to launch its attempt to go to the moon. What next for lunar exploration?
Japan is set to launch its attempt to go to the moon, marking the next step in lunar exploration. Japan's Moon Sniper mission is a daring and ambitious endeavor aimed at making history by landing a rover on the lunar surface with pinpoint precision. The mission promises to push the boundaries of space exploration, showcasing Japan's technological prowess and ambition. But what began as a remarkable leap for the country's space program soon took an unexpected turn, casting a shadow over their dreams. However, that wasn't the only significant aspect of the mission, as Elon Musk revealed something that NASA had been keeping from the public. This revelation raises the question, what exactly has been hidden from us? The Japanese Moon Sniper mission was more than just an ambitious leap in lunar exploration, it also uncovered something surprising. Elon Musk revealed what NASA had kept under wraps for years. But before diving into the shocking details Musk uncovered, it is essential to first explore the mission itself and how Elon came across this unexpected information. Elon Musk has always been synonymous with ambitious dreams. Born in South Africa in 1971, he made his mark on the world not through traditional means but by continuously challenging technological and conceptual boundaries. From founding companies like PayPal to launching SpaceX, his career has been nothing short of extraordinary. His vision has consistently leaned toward creating a future that seems almost otherworldly, and he is determined to make those dreams a reality. Musk's connection with NASA has been pivotal in shaping his approach to space exploration. Through SpaceX, Elon has transformed the space industry, cutting through the bureaucracy and inefficiency that had long plagued government space programs. SpaceX was founded with the ultimate goal of making space travel more affordable and eventually colonizing other planets, most notably Mars. This bold vision has placed Elon at the forefront of a new era in space exploration. His involvement with NASA is significant, especially considering the context of his Moon and Mars ambitions, not only because this is how he gained access to some classified information, but more on that later. SpaceX has played a crucial role in NASA's modern-day space missions, including launching astronauts to the International Space Station. This partnership underscores Elon's growing influence in the space community and strengthens his aspirations to build a human presence beyond Earth. SpaceX's development of the Falcon rockets and Dragon capsules helped NASA regain access to space after the end of the Space Shuttle program in 2011. Elon's plan to take humanity back to the Moon and, ultimately, to Mars ties directly into his larger goals. Looking toward the Moon, his vision isn't just about exploring or setting foot on the lunar surface. He sees the Moon as a stepping stone for humanity's future, a place to establish a permanent human presence. The plans for the Moon focus on creating infrastructure that can support human life, such as lunar bases equipped with life support systems, power generation, and research facilities. He believes that by establishing a foothold on the Moon, humanity can test the technologies and systems necessary for long-term survival on Mars. But the Moon may be more than just a stepping stone, as we will find out later. An important aspect of these dreams lies in what must happen to make life on the Moon and Mars a reality. The challenges are vast. In order to establish a self-sustaining base on the Moon, Elon's team would need to develop technologies to extract and utilize local resources, something called in situ resource utilization. This would involve finding ways to extract oxygen from the Moon's surface or mining lunar ice for water. Establishing reliable energy sources, most likely through solar power, would be another critical aspect of surviving on the Moon. These challenges must be addressed before humans can ever hope to live on the Moon permanently. But the Moon is only part of the grander plan. Mars has long been Musk's ultimate goal, and it is there that the more ambitious elements of his dreams unfold. In Elon's eyes, Mars represents not just a new home for humanity but an insurance policy for the survival of the species. Earth, as he often points out, is vulnerable, whether due to natural disasters, man-made threats, or other unforeseen factors. Establishing a human presence on Mars is his answer to ensuring humanity's continued existence. The journey to Mars, however, won't be an easy one. The challenges are not just technical but also biological and psychological. Elon has spoken at length about the need for advanced space travel technologies to make the journey viable. SpaceX's Starship is central to this plan. Designed as a fully reusable spacecraft capable of carrying both crew and cargo to Mars, Starship will have to withstand extreme conditions both on the journey and once it reaches the Martian surface. But before delving deeper into Mars, it is essential to look back at the Moon and discuss some historic missions and their achievements before Moon Sniper was even planned. The Moon, Earth's closest neighbor, has always captivated humanity. Its bright, cold surface has been a source of wonder, myth, and ambition. From the earliest telescopic observations to the first human footsteps, the Moon has played a pivotal role in the story of exploration. Over the years, various nations have launched expeditions to the moon, each driven by different motives: scientific discovery, political rivalry, and the simple curiosity to understand what lies beyond our world. One of the most iconic early missions came from the Soviet Union in 1959. A spacecraft named Luna 1 was launched. It wasn't designed to land on the moon but rather to swing past it. Although Luna 1 missed the moon slightly, its importance was undeniable. It marked humanity's first close encounter with the moon, sending back vital data about its great gravity and the space environment surrounding it. This was followed by Luna 2 in 1959, which became the first man-made object to actually crash into the moon's surface. For the Soviet Union, these successes in the race to the moon were not just about scientific achievement, they were a matter of national pride. As the 1960s rolled on, the United States was caught in a competitive and high-stakes space race with the Soviet Union. In 1969, after years of intense preparation, NASA successfully put astronauts on the moon. The Apollo 11 mission is etched into the history books, a monumental moment when Neil Armstrong became the first human to set foot on the lunar surface. His famous words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," encapsulated the significance of the moment. Buzz Aldrin followed Armstrong down the ladder, and the two spent hours exploring the moon, collecting samples, and setting up experiments. The United States had reached the moon, and the entire world watched. But the Apollo missions didn't stop there. Apollo 12 followed just a few months later, carrying astronauts to the moon in November 1969. They landed in the Ocean of Storms, close to the Surveyor 3 spacecraft that had landed on the moon years earlier. Their mission was the first to demonstrate precision landing, and they performed important scientific tasks like retrieving samples from Surveyor 3 and collecting additional lunar soil and rock samples. Apollo 12 set the stage for future lunar missions, showing that humans could not only land on the moon but also return with more significant scientific findings. Apollo 13, however, is one of the most famous and also tragic stories in the history of space exploration. The mission was intended to be the third crewed lunar landing. However, 2 days into the mission, an oxygen tank exploded, damaging the spacecraft and causing a life-threatening situation for the astronauts aboard. Despite this, thanks to the quick thinking of the astronauts and mission control, the crew was safely brought back to Earth. After Apollo 13, the program continued to push the boundaries of human exploration. Apollo 14 landed in the Fra Highlands, and the crew spent 2 days on the lunar surface conducting experiments and collecting samples. Apollo 15, the fourth successful crewed mission, brought astronauts to the Hadley Apennine region, a site rich in geological features. Apollo 15 marked the first time a lunar rover vehicle was used, allowing astronauts to travel further from their lander, dramatically expanding their exploration capabilities on the moon. The Apollo missions culminated in Apollo 17, the final crewed mission to the moon, launched in December 1972. However, since Apollo 17, no human has set foot on the moon. The Apollo program ended, and the moon seemed to recede into the background of space exploration. Why is that? Did NASA know something even before the Japanese moon sniper mission? We will soon find out. The 21st century brought a resurgence of interest in the moon, this time from a global stage. After decades of silence in terms of lunar landings, new missions were launched. Russia continued its space endeavors but with more modest plans for the moon. In the early 2000s, Russia considered sending robotic missions back to the moon, but most of their focus shifted toward Mars. Meanwhile, China entered the lunar exploration race with an ambitious plan. In 2013, China's Chang'e 3 mission landed a rover named U2 on the moon. It was the first soft landing on the moon since the Soviet Union's Luna missions in the 1970s. Chang'e 3 proved to be a significant milestone for China's space program, marking its arrival as a major player in space exploration. Since then, China has continued its lunar ambitions with further missions aimed at investigating the moon's far side, an area previously unexplored by humans. In 2019, the Chang'e 4 mission successfully landed on the far side of the moon, a groundbreaking achievement. This was the first time any spacecraft had landed on the moon's far side, an area that is perpetually hidden from Earth. Other nations, too, have made their mark on lunar exploration. India's space agency launched the Chandrayaan-1 mission, which helped confirm the presence of water molecules on the moon. Although the mission didn't include a lander, the spacecraft made significant contributions to lunar science, particularly in mapping the moon's surface. India followed up with Chandrayaan-2 in 2019, which aimed to land a rover on the lunar South Pole. However, the lander lost contact shortly before landing. Despite this setback, the orbiter continues to send back valuable data from the moon. The moon has also become a focal point for future missions. NASA's Artemis program, aiming to return astronauts to the lunar surface, is another ambitious step in the long history of lunar exploration. Artemis intends to land the first woman and the next man on the moon, with plans to establish a sustainable human presence on the moon in the coming decades. Artemis will not only continue the legacy of the Apollo missions but also pave the way for deeper exploration into the solar system, including missions to Mars. But has NASA set the Artemis mission just to cover their tracks? The Japanese Moon Sniper mission, the Japanese Lunar Exploration Program, has been a quiet but ambitious initiative in the world of space exploration. While not as well known as the missions led by space giants like NASA, Russia, or China, Japan has steadily carved out a significant role in the exploration of the moon. Through its space agency, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA, Japan has launched several successful lunar missions, focusing on a range of scientific goals, from understanding the moon's composition to preparing for future human exploration. The journey of Japan's space exploration ambitions began in the late 20th century, but it was the early 2000s that marked the real acceleration of their lunar plans. In 2007, JAXA launched the H-2A rocket carrying the Kaguya spacecraft, also known as the Selenology and Engineering Explorer. This mission, which orbited the moon, was a significant achievement for Japan and helped the country make its mark in the field of lunar exploration. Kaguya was designed to create detailed maps of the moon's surface, helping scientists understand its geology and topography more precisely than ever before. The Kaguya mission also contributed to identifying the presence of certain minerals on the lunar surface. It was equipped with various instruments to measure the moon's gravitational field, study its surface composition, and provide high-resolution images of its craters and basins. These findings gave scientists invaluable data on the moon's formation, a topic that continues to drive lunar research today. But while Kaguya was an instrumental mission, Japan had even bigger plans on the horizon. In the years following Kaguya, JAXA shifted its focus to more ambitious goals, such as establishing a permanent human presence on the moon and exploring the potential for resource extraction. With lunar exploration becoming a global priority, Japan realized it needed to push its efforts further, especially as other countries like China and the US were ramping up their own space programs. The next phase of Japan's lunar strategy came into clearer focus with the announcement of a mission that would attract worldwide attention, the Lunar Sniper mission. This mission, though somewhat shrouded in secrecy at first, was part of Japan's broader effort to innovate and stand out in the competitive world of space exploration. The Lunar Sniper mission was designed to take an unconventional approach to lunar exploration, focusing on precision targeting and mapping the moon's surface in unprecedented detail. The term sniper in the mission's name reflected Japan's desire to achieve extremely accurate measurements and observations of the moon's surface. The goal was to send a highly sophisticated rover or lander capable of landing with pinpoint precision on the moon's surface, targeting specific geological features with great accuracy. It was a mission that aimed not only to gather scientific data but also to demonstrate Japan's technological prowess in the high-stakes arena of space exploration. The Lunar Sniper concept was different from previous missions as it combined cutting-edge robotic technology with the goal of providing a precise and lasting contribution to humanity's understanding of the moon. The rover would be able to navigate the rugged lunar terrain with incredible precision, almost like a sniper honing in on a target. This would enable JAXA to gather detailed data about specific sites on the moon, such as the poles, which are thought to contain important resources like water ice. The ice at the lunar poles could potentially be used for life support, fuel, and other resources if humans are ever to establish a long-term presence on the moon. In addition to exploring the moon's surface, Japan's Lunar Sniper mission was designed to take a closer look at the moon's south pole, a region that has become a focal point for lunar exploration due to its potential for resource extraction. The moon's south pole is in constant shadow, meaning that temperatures there can drop to extreme levels, but the presence of water ice could be a game changer. This region's extreme conditions make it a perfect candidate for future exploration and potentially the establishment of a base for future missions, including those targeting Mars. However, the Lunar Sniper mission also focused on demonstrating new technologies that could play a significant role in the future of lunar exploration. One of the key components of the mission was its ability to conduct high-precision landings and surveys of the lunar surface. This was made possible by Japan's development of advanced navigation and control systems, which would allow the spacecraft to safely land on the moon and perform a variety of tasks with an unprecedented level of accuracy. The mission's rover was equipped with a suite of scientific instruments to study the lunar soil and the magnetic field, as well as a sophisticated camera system that could capture detailed images of the moon's surface and other celestial bodies. Though the lunar sniper mission was not Japan's first foray into lunar exploration, it represented a new chapter in JAXA's pursuit of lunar knowledge. It was not just about exploring, it was about innovation. By using cutting-edge technology and precision equipment, Japan was not only contributing to the scientific understanding of the moon but also proving its ability to lead in space exploration. And this was only the beginning. Looking toward the future, Japan's lunar ambitions are far from over. In fact, JAXA has outlined plans to work in collaboration with NASA's Artemis program, which aims to return astronauts to the moon by 2025. As part of this partnership, Japan is set to provide a lunar lander to deliver supplies and equipment to the moon, contributing to the infrastructure needed for a sustainable human presence on the lunar surface. The lunar sniper mission may have been a singular, unique project, but it was part of a much broader vision of Japan's role in the future of lunar exploration. But by sharing information with NASA, JAXA agreed to help them hide something Elon Musk revealed. Elon Musk's revelation in the realm of lunar exploration shook the foundations of what we think we know. Discoveries are often celebrated as monumental steps forward in understanding our solar system, but sometimes, a single photograph can bring more than just answers. This was the case with a surprising revelation from Japan's lunar sniper mission, a project that aimed to study the moon with precision and sophistication. While it was meant to be a routine mission, it uncovered something far more puzzling, something that seemed to have been intentionally hidden. Elon Musk declared, "I will show you what Japan's moon sniper mission found." The mission, which was designed to take a closer look at the moon's south pole, was a remarkable technological feat. Japan's space agency had developed technology to land a rover on the lunar surface with unprecedented precision. Little did anyone know, the lunar sniper mission would soon uncover something unexpected that would send shockwaves through the space exploration community. The event occurred when the mission's rover captured an image of what appeared to be a square opening on the moon's surface outlined by a circle. At first, it seemed like a simple anomaly or an unusual formation of rocks. But as the image was examined more closely, something far more intriguing became apparent. A light beam was emanating from the opening, cutting through the moon's otherwise dark landscape. It was unlike anything previously documented in lunar exploration. The beam's intensity suggested that it was being actively generated, and its focus was unmistakable. It appeared to be a signal, one directed to a specific point on the lunar surface, possibly a landing zone or an entrance to something much deeper. This discovery would have sent shockwaves through the scientific community if it hadn't been quickly hidden by NASA. But Elon recently revealed it. NASA lied to us. There is something on the moon, something made by sentient beings. It appears to be a base of some sort. He questioned what exactly this beam was and why it had never been observed before. The most plausible explanation is that it was a signal for something much larger and hidden beneath the surface, an underground base. The size and precision of the light beam pointed to a structure capable of handling complex operations, potentially a long-term human or robotic installation. But there was something more to this, something that suggested this was not just an uninhabited structure but one actively in use. As the image continued to circulate, whispers began to emerge. Why hadn't this base been reported in previous lunar explorations? Did NASA find it decades before and thus close the Apollo program? It wasn't just the presence of the base itself that was surprising, it was the fact that such an object had seemingly been kept under wraps for years. Why was NASA, the United States' leading space agency, working so hard to keep this discovery hidden? The moon has always been a symbol of competition, particularly during the Cold War era when the US and the Soviet Union raced to outdo one another in space. The Apollo missions were the pinnacle of this race, but they also marked the beginning of a complex relationship between the Moon and Earth space agencies. Over the years, NASA has continued to send robotic probes to the Moon, but the details of these missions are often kept close to the chest. With so many countries now focusing on lunar exploration, there is a constant struggle to maintain control over the Moon's future. In this context, the lunar sniper mission's discovery was especially troubling for NASA. If a secret facility were to be exposed, it could have significant geopolitical implications. The mere suggestion that there was an active, unknown base on the Moon was enough to cause serious concern for NASA. The biggest reason could be related to national security. The Moon, with its potential for resource extraction, particularly water ice, has become a focal point for future exploration. If there were indeed a hidden base already in operation, it would not only alter the dynamics of space exploration but could also represent a major leap in the technologies needed for off-Earth living. The discovery of such a base could provoke another space race, where nations rush for control of the Moon's resources and strategic positions. Will Elon reveal more of NASA's secrets? What else is there? Let us know in the comments.